Okay, so we're back with a very short video as we're at the tail end of power leveling people. The one thing I just wanted to go over for people that were trying to figure out what to do during this particular month's RBR, more useful for the Twitch audience since YouTube is delayed. Dango my head to bed? No worries. So if anybody wants to Dango slot, by all means. We're going to be going into Scarlet Realm 3, which has a very high number of Guild Chicks, Canadines, and Cenobeats, with Sinnoh Gold as well. So this is kind of a more challenging area, but I think from the standpoint of when we do this, as long as we have like a trap user, it's not too bad. We'll probably play purple into it. So I'm gonna go ahead and make the game on that ID. Up next we have Phantasmal World, which will be playing white ID, probably Ranger into it. And then finally we have Sweep Up Operation, which I think will be pink ID. Whoever's around for that will go that far. I'm gonna go ahead and make the game for people that want to hop in. The Ralmaral buffs should probably be good enough. PV creates and PV increases are hilarious. I could tell what I was doing with this character last. I don't even have to say anything. Like, I just looked at it and I'm like, I knew exactly what run I was doing. No doubts. Let's put this away. The downside about Scarlet Realm is it is definitely more annoying to do with lower amounts of players than I say some of the other things. I made the mind one for now. Let me put on my other units, because I don't need these. It is even beat. Want Heaven Striker for its actual original. The timer does not line up with what I want to do. Do I have a spare power mag that would work on this character? I really do not want a PP laser if I can avoid it here. I could go generic mag if I want to. I think I need my Heaven Striker for its intended purpose. But like, they're so close that it should not matter with this. So we'll hold that for now. Anybody else that wants to participate in some final RBRs of the night? We'll give a final call there. So this quest is okay. I think we've done it before a couple times on stream. Not a huge fan of the Scarlet Realm quests. I think the other ones are okay as well. They're not ones I'm gonna like run out and do, I think, over the other quests. But I figure I might as well show them off for people that were curious. So with Ralmaral, I'm able to provide all the buffs that I need. I have Ranger tools, so I have my Frozen Shooter shut down annoying enemies. Charge Arm to deal with groups. Yeah, I guess we'll get started. So I don't see anybody else hopping in, but by all means, just let us know in the chat. I'm gonna give you, let's say, 15 seconds. Then we'll get going. No worries, Nate. Hopefully you get some rest. Mattia says I gotta make dinner. No problems. Okay, so I guess it's just us. We're gonna believe in the power of Remotebattery for the carry. Although 188 on a HuCast is more than respectable. I guess we'll get started. I'm gonna go to Scarlet Realm 3. I'm gonna skip the dialogue. I almost stepped on that warp, you have no idea. I was like, wait, no, I don't want to do that, that's a trick. I think we gotta interact with this, begin the investigation. So this is gonna go a bit slow, so we're gonna apologize ahead of that. That's fine. Hopefully with our buffs, we should be good to go. If I need to Zalore, I can Zalore some targets. Yeah, typically I think the intent is that basically the 4 players stand in the cardinal directions at the beginning. The players, we gotta move around a little more than that to deal with that. Bit unfortunate. Yeah, I'm basically gonna be here to buff the HuCast while still dealing some damage. Enemy to get out of here. Oh, I got knocked backwards. That was so sad. There we go. Go ahead and use Charge Arm to break the boxes since we're here. Yeah, one thing that, kind of continuing our conversation from earlier, one thing that kind of made Yellow ID a bit weaker than what it was previously were the big nerfs to Anguish mode. So, like, it was pretty common, or maybe for me it was common, to do things like Lost Soul Blade on Yellow Boss, on Anguish 1, just to improve the patterns of the boxes. And similarly, if I had a good group, sometimes I did Anguish 2. I don't remember how much of that was on stream, to be honest. We did play that a couple times on stream, but I don't know if we did Anguish for that on stream. But the thing with it is, like, because the patterns have been so heavily nerfed, and Anguish 1 is the equivalency of Anguish 3 anyway, a lot of the box checks are just worth a lot less. So just overall, the value of certain IDs drops significantly after the nerf. Kind of unfortunate. Otherwise, I would have rated Yellow ID, I think, higher in the Section ID stuff, but it did take a very big hit from it. There's things that are, like, so close to being, like, endgame viable, like making boxes actually worth checking, does make a difference, I think, in the run. On top of that, just general PDs per second are lower, too. The PD boosts are nerfed comparatively, from what I recall. We're gonna nerf them a little bit, so that way team can kill them easy. There we go. Pick the same one. I don't really want to split up with just 2 people. If it was 4 players, we would just pair up with, like, one Ramar or Walmarl with the cast or whatever. Just 2 players, I don't really want to solo. Yeah, the intent of these quests are you're supposed to split up a little bit. So, like, in a good time attack, people will go off on their own. We don't super have that luxury in multiplayer. Like, I could do it in theory, I really just prefer not to. All it takes is, like, one really awful Sinnoh route and/or Baran's, and it's GG for one player. By these enemies. Can't quite land special. So sad. Correct, idiot. I'm like, that time I'll use the frozen shooter. I'll do that for chat. Like, I don't usually use the item as much as I probably should. But in some of those scenarios, you're like, nope. Go ahead and lure them so they don't do anything. There we go. Freeze the target, make it easier for our friend here. You can shoot down the Sinnoh Reds, we'll try to do it. There we go, good enough. Yeah, the Q-Cast is going to be the big damage carry. I'm basically just here to assist. Like, just do a little supplemental damage on the Barans there, for example. We apply buffs since we have downtime. Where's the Sinnoh? Oh, there it is. Hello. We actually went pretty far without a battle theme for a while. Now we're back into it. Yeah, this quest will take a little bit of time to clear. I don't think the next one is as bad. You know, quick box checks, save some time. Yeah, if it's just one Sinnoh, I'll try to save the Q-Cast traps by using Frozen Shooter. We have some complementary pairings. charge arm here. Go, some assistance. Not bad. See, the reason... Oh, talk about IDs. The reason I chose purple ID, Yashminikov, since that's the chances. A little bit of ice. Or a lot of ice, excuse me. Inverse that. So the Canoeens, aka the leader of the homing robots, those give Yashminikov. There's 8, there's not a lot in the run, but it's better than nothing. There's a decent amount of the Sinnoh Reds, which I believe give the Syncesta. And otherwise, we're just going for common drops. So regular robots giving Vice, it's fine. This little bait there. Oh, got confused. It sucks. Get 5 buffs. Something better to do while I'm waiting. Putting them closer to kill range. There we go. Made it more manageable. Hello, Barans. I prefer a few pros. Can't go that way quite yet. Oh well. So now we're back at the room where we get to make a choice. So I'm gonna follow whatever the HuCast does. Where HuCast goes, I follow. Here's a chance to get a Yashminikov. I would very much like it if we did get one, but it's very unlikely. There are not many to fight in the run. So now we're back here. I don't remember which one you took the first time. That's fine, we'll follow you. We're slowly clearing up this area. What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna debuff them so we don't have to worry about this. Even if they get unfrozen here, it's not a big deal. They're gonna tickle comparatively. Now we're on the other side of the sea room, not bad. 5 boxes. Well, that was just rude. Alright, so we did all that to open a single laser gate. So did that open up the one over here? It does. Oh, that opens this warp. Okay. I found the gill chicks, that's fun. There we go. Trying to shut down that wave pretty fast. To pick up grinders that can improve my currents. Frozen shooter. Try. Nice try. It's getting completely outplayed by Frozen Shooter. Love to see it. Might as well as lure everything and keep our damage. Really.
Perfect mayhem!
Oh, thank you, Chrysogram, for the raid. Hopefully you're doing well, Chrysogram. Funny enough, they killed the sound on my end. So I just heard perfect mayhem followed by just dead silence. My poor headset does not like Windows 11. What game were you playing, Chrysogram? You tell. Chrysogram subscribing for 30 months in a row. Thank you, Chrysogram. Go ahead and debuff. Some Echoes Phantasilians mod. Interesting. I was gonna say, did it go well though? I've seen some of those mods that you do where it just is like insanity, uncompletable nonsense. Enemies are like 300% size and just break the game. This one was more completable. That's good to hear. I should just reward it here. Okay, mistake. I'm gonna do this to delay them so the UCAS can kill these. I'm in a bad position anyway. This should be good. Yay, stalling power. Okay, that's good. Oh, I'm so dead, by the way. Did not get hit by that somehow. We'll take that. Oh no, there's jump scares? Here we go. Floor 2. Thank you, Heaven Striker. I can pretend I'm a HuCast when I attack with Heaven Striker. What a fair weapon. Very fair and balanced, chat, I promise. Definitely isn't like top one. Shooting with the switch there. We'll get some rest, Chrysogram. You deserve it. Play work will treat you well as well. One step at a time. Baran. Like, my de facto mode is, if I'm not sure what a room is, I can switch to Frozen Shooter. What the heck is this? I know we've done the Scarlet Realm once on stream before. Don't remember this room at all, to be honest. Assuming we're gonna gradually work our way into laser gates. Just let us know if there are people that want to hop in later. We're open for the next quest. We're just trying out the RBR. See the switch in the far side. Can I hit it with something is the question. You know what? I kind of vaguely recall getting cut off by these laser gates, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, they rotate through patterns. Yeah, okay. Now I'm starting to remember this room a little more. That I found annoying, because I think I was a hunter or something at that point. Well, good luck. Hopefully your Vulcans can reach, because this game is just rotating through them semi-randomly. These... Nice freeze. Promethean says this doesn't look like cookies. I was gonna say there's not many people around. It's getting late. We're already done. We got somebody to 80 in like no time, Promethean. Like barely 2 hours real time. Pretty fast. Yeah, we're just doing some final quests here. What the heck is this room? Keep up or get trolled. Same buff I didn't want it to do. It's fine. You. Reds, which are kind of annoying to deal with. Freeze. That though. Kill you before I do anything else. Friends wanted you to give Overframe a try. I've heard positive things from people that play it, but then I also hear from the same people of how grindy it gets at the end game. For me, I'm not really... I don't really want the game to go like really fast in terms of movement, so I know it's not going to be a game for me. And I know a lot of people were saying like, oh, it's so fun being basically like a ninja. I'm like, I don't think I really like that in a shooter game, to be honest, but it's fine. Where is the... Didn't see it because it was above me. Makes sense. We're gonna just unlock the brand. Little courtesy heal. Yeah, I heard there's like, I heard positive things about like the beginning of the game. Is it just boxes? It is boxes. Heard like strong things about the beginning of the game when it's more focused, but then after that it kind of goes into what was considered older content. Again, that's from somebody else. I've not played the game. I don't have interest. Those definitely grindy. Yeah, I remember they were trying to explain to me the crafting system in that game, and I was like, hell no. My brain checked out so fast. I was like, hell no, I'm not learning that at all. I need something more casual if you want me to get into it at that point. Yeah, they were talking something about master weapons, and you have different levels with different weapons, and the grind to upgrade. I'm like, listen, that is a 0% appeal to me. I'm like, listen, I just want the item to be solid when we pick it up. I don't want it to be complicated. Don't make it complicated. I don't mind about like adding specials or whatever to a weapon, but it's kind of like Rune Factory. Like I acknowledge that sometimes knowing the farm is important, but I'm not going to sit there and have everything memorized where my urge is to complete every item on that table. Like, nah, no thanks. Yeah. See where I have to shoot it. I can't shoot the laser gate. So sad. Make sure to hit this laser gate, or else I'll probably feel sad later. Yeah, that's the other thing. I was trying to remember why they were doing the levels. Thank you, Promethean, for clarifying there. Locking progression behind grinding for weapons. You know what? I did its job there. I'm not gonna complain. Where is... Okay, destroyed. here a little bit, maybe get a freeze. Oh. Yeah, I could not imagine that. That sounds really horrendous. The people that I know that play it are like really into grinding, and I'm like, I'm not. I'm here for the experience for people. You know, getting items every now and then is nice. It's good to be able to go for an item, but like, I don't want my life to be like, let's do 120 hours of P1s because we have to. Uninterested. More a social experience for me. I definitely play it a lot more casual than like other ones might. Don't get me wrong, I'm willing to put some hours towards a game, but there comes a limit for me when it comes to like MMOs and why I don't usually play any other ones at all anymore. This is the closest. I think we're almost done at this. You'd play a Final Fantasy MMO? See, I wouldn't. I don't know. I don't have that nostalgia for Final Fantasy. I liked a few of their games. But it's like, for the rest. Yeah, even with like Mogs or like the many fantasy races, I just don't care about them, to be real with you. Like you can say insert name of race from any of the Final Fantasy games. Like I'm not gonna do it unless I'm able to play as the little lizard people from Final Fantasy Tactic Advance. You know what I mean? Like they're there, I acknowledge they're there, but I'm like, it's not gonna make or break a game for me. Hello, Confused Trap. Really up a little bit. Out of freeze traps? Okay. Very bad for me, actually. Yeah, that's very bad. I got stun locked by 4 of them. Sucked. I couldn't deban, or I couldn't gel in all of them. I got 2 out of the 4. Unfortunate. What would be a perfect multiplayer game for me? Co-op? A good start. There are so many laser... There's so many of these. So some of them are just fake. Oh. What's in here? This. Oh, pfft, hello. Well, I found out, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it would be something where, like, you have long-term goals, so it wouldn't just be, like, a 30-hour, 40-hour game kind of thing. So it wouldn't just be, like, standard game, but with co-op. Action games can be hit or miss. It really just depends on the server. I don't mind it being a slower-paced game for multiplayer. I just don't know if it could be as, like, glacial as, like, a Civ game. Or how long those take to complete in multiplayer. But otherwise, it's just kind of like, I will play the game for action if it's multiplayer over story. It's nice if it is story. But I don't view it as, like, the first and foremost thing. Anything where it starts to really push the monetization of things really turns me off. So basically, don't give me a game like PSO2 and then constantly tell me all the different ways that I should be going in order to get, like, oh, if you check this, you could get free lottery tickets, or like, look at the summer skins. Like, I'm really tired of that stuff. Okay, so let's open up another warp. Hello. It's like, I won't like a lot of modern MMOs because they do that. I would not play most games with a cash shop. Those days are over for sure. I will tolerate it if it's cosmetic only, but I still don't like them. Should be good now. Yeah, it's kind of like one of those ones where, like, the game can be, like, a series of shorter quests, or it could be, like, a goal is to beat something. Like, I actually did have some fun with, like, the equivalency of, like, a roguelike game, like when we're doing Secrets of Grindia. I think that game, unfortunately, kind of missed the mark a little bit for me with the later bosses that I feel kind of ruined the game for me. It went from, like, a strong recommend to, really have to see if you like it kind of thing. So I don't want a game that just gets, like, overly hard for the sake of getting overly hard. I'm hoping by the time we go back to a game like that, they reduce clutter. One of the biggest things they said they were going to do is reduce visual clutter, and I'm like, thank you. I hate games that have, like, a million bullets on the screen, I really do. Unless they're, like, really, really, really well done, and I can see, like, every single pattern because everything is different colors. No, unless they do it really, really well, I will generally not play those kinds of games. If, like, every bullet is the same color, but only some move in some patterns, like, that is going to be too much for me. And we've played games where that happens. It's not even, like, a hypothetical, you know, like, oh, shooters aren't like that. I'm like, they are. We played a couple like that on stream. It's unfortunate when it happens. So we're getting our Syncessa chances in, I guess, right now. There are a lot of Sinnohs. I'm not a fan of limited inventory unless it's, like, condensed to a run. Like, I can only have certain items, but I can only have it in the run, and it, like, resets. Then it matters a little less. If it's, like, long-term, like, I don't like PSO's 30 item limit. I wish at least when you equipped items, they didn't count towards the limit. Where they did it, like, in PSO 0, where you could do, like, in-game achievements to unlock it. That's fine. Ups here. I contemplated if I ever... Well, they don't really have games like that. But I was thinking of something, like, more... If they had, like, an action game that was, like, Sengoku Basara, but it was, like, online, I would play that, like, 24/7. Like, no doubt. That would be, like, my most played game of all time, if that existed. The closest I think they have is, like, Dynasty Warriors 4 online, I think is the thing that exists. But sadly, 4 Dynasty Warriors was my least favorite Dynasty Warriors because of the duel system. I liked it in concept. I hated how unfair it was on a lot of the main stages, and I did not find it fun. Like, I was way more likely to die in, like, the Hulao Gate battles versus Lubu there compared to any other Dynasty Warriors in any other version. Just because I would accidentally trigger it and then be forced into a, you gotta survive 10 seconds against a one-shot character. I just didn't really enjoy that. Yeah. Because I think 4 had, like, some interesting AI, and I liked the ability to, like, build your team. Like, there are elements that I liked in that game, but, like, some of the other elements were just so divisive for me. I just... As soon as I basically got the 5th game, I never went back to it ever. I never had nostalgia for it. I was just like, it's different than 3. I like that it has upgrades over 3, but ... Where? Oh, there it is. Again. My bad. Okay. Should be good here. We're gonna debuff. We're gonna heal. Yeah. I still think Sengoku Basara is my favorite action game of all time, and it has never changed. My opinion has not changed on that ever. I was like so addicted to that series in person, you have no idea. You thought I played PSO a lot? You should see when I used to play co-op Sengoku Basara. The only reason why I don't play that currently is that it's basically you have to play local. Like, I could in theory parsec it, but putting in the delay on that kind of game is just so brutal. It wouldn't really be fair. That game had, like, everything I ever wanted in an action game, to be honest. Everything. I am so annoyed that I've been confused and that I'm not able to hit the D-band because they're jumping around. That should be good. Please stop confused. Please stop confused looping me. I'd like to be able to play the game. Thank you. Robots. I am so happy because I don't remember if he had freeze traps. He said he was out earlier. Oh, there we go. Use that Sinnoh Red to block some bullets for me. There we go. That ending was a little rough, but I think we got through it. Again, XP per second is... with only 2 players, I don't think it's worth it. It could be fun with 4 players, though. I guess I'll teleport. Beat Remotebattery there. Yay, teleports. I don't think I played Sengoku Basara. Take a look at this. It's like, what if Dynasty Warriors was done competently? I'm just gonna call them out. Listen, Dynasty Warriors could have been Sengoku Basara. Like, it gives you, like, almost every sub-mechanic you could ever think of. Any complaints you've ever had about characters being clones, remove that when you play Sengoku Basara. It's just beautiful. Every character is so unique. Every character has a different weight to them. They have very dramatically different playstyles. I mean, you straight up have grapplers, gunners, swordsmen, pikemen, ridiculous alternate weapons. Lilsnackcake says, what are you running? Oh, we're just doing some RBR. I'm praising Sengoku Basara for being one of the best action games of all time. The 4th game has, like, the combat mechanics down to a T. I think they didn't quite balance the difficulty properly. So I think, like, the 3rd game, Utage, is, like, the peak difficulty of the game while still having good mechanics. That's my opinion towards it. Alright, so we're gonna do some White ID. So I'll play, I guess a Force into this. So if anybody wants to hop in, let us know. Getting that extra space. No sound. Yeah, you can join Lilsnackcake. If you bring in anybody, it's appreciated. Yeah, Promethean. Like, think about, like, especially if you played a lot of Dynasty Warriors, like, think about, like, the most common complaints when you play, like, a Dynasty Warriors at high level. Like, unfair Mushus one-shotting you. That doesn't really exist in this game. The ability to counterplay Mushus exists in this game. The ability to counterplay every ability in the game exists. With the parry system or, like, perfect evades. It's so good. Oh, we're on block 2 if you're looking for us, Lilsnackcake. Do episode 2 next. It is, like, so beautiful. Like, things like arrows, you can hit back, you can parry them. You have, like, the equivalency of hero time, which sets up for, like, massive boss combos. I feel like the depth of that... Oh, Password's King, by the way, Lilsnackcake. Look for Ziggy. It's our standard stuff. Do I want to bring anything else here? I don't think I do. You're Force, by the way? Oh, are you? Oh, okay, then I might switch out. Well, I guess it doesn't matter at the moment. Password's king. What level is my meat? Oh, it's 30? Okay. Not 50. Yeah, it really is to me like the peak of action games. It is so, so good. Ooh, 194, nice. So we're gonna be spamming a lot of Megan. It's basically what we're gonna do here. And maybe we'll get some kills. Ooh, interesting icon. Like how it looks like a person with all the hands put together. Anybody else want to hop in? Final call. Yeah, it is to me like the peak of action games. Nothing tops it. No worries about the rust. We're good here. Ooh. Oh, that one is so good. I'm gonna give you... Did you make that one Remotebattery? That one was crazy. I like the different poses they seem to be in. That was amazing. Oh, you didn't make it? That's unfortunate. It's very good. Yeah, I like that one where it looks like the person in like a robe or like a magic cap. I like that. Okay, so once everybody gets close, we'll get started. I guess I could go more Bringer's Rifle. I can at least demon things. That should be fun. What are my thoughts on Drakengard? I don't think I played that. I almost thought you said Draken at first. I was like, huh? Did I V502 and hell it up? Maybe. It might be worth it on some enemies, but honestly, Hucast is so powerful, it doesn't matter. I'm assuming it's just gonna be worse than Sengoku. Honestly, Sengoku is like the peak of gameplay. It has every possible mechanic you could ever think of. Jump cancels, dash cancels, guard cancels, skill cancels. It has like the equivalency of like light, medium, heavy chains. It is everything that you could think of. It is in the game. It feels more like playing an actual fighting game than anything else. Oh, literally lost my bringers. Oof. So I'm assuming it's gonna feel like maybe early Sengoku at best, because I think Drakengard is PS2 or PS3, the first one. Learn. Let's learn in real time. I'm sure I own it somewhere, I just never got around to it. PS2 was the first one, yeah. I think that one was known for being kind of, we're gonna go with questionable content. That's one of the ones I thought about streaming, and then I heard about some of the stuff that was in the game, and I'm like, I don't think I could get away with streaming it. I don't think I could. I don't want to. We're gonna go and do... Yeah, I'm just like, don't know if I really want to do that. I'm like, I don't think so. I'll be spamming Megan, so at least I'll be getting some kills with demons. Oops. You could go to more than one area. Why is that? Interesting. Yeah, like, it as I said before, the game has everything. If you played a game like Onimusha before, it's like, what if Onimusha was faster paced and it just had more complexity to it? Like, the level of care to each of the characters that was in Onimusha is, in that game, times like 5 million. I think by the fourth game, most characters were like semi-viable. The initial games were kind of rough. There are characters that are still very clearly broken. Cough, Kenshin, cough. Like, there's nothing they could do to make that fair and balanced at all. Character is just so overwhelmingly OP. But yeah, I like the ability to just do like rapid cancels. So for people that want to do like a lot of the rapid input stuff, it exists. If people like slower methodical characters, it exists. If you want to play a trap-based character that relies off of minions rather than direct gameplay, that exists. Like, it really has basically everything that you can think of. It's kind of insane. I wish that game had more popularity for sure, though. Because honestly, it catered to like all difficulties that people were willing to play. It wasn't just like, oh, elite gamers only. It's one of those ones where you felt rewarded for learning the game. Because like, you're not going to pick up a character within like the first few battles. But when you do, like, ooh, like night and day. I was going to say, I see that robot waiting for me. Get out of here. Nice, got the demons. That's all that matters. Snipe them real quick. I'm gonna try to deal with a couple of these. Yeah, I mean, even in the same game, it has some of the best tag components I've ever seen, so you can combo with yourself. I'm not used to playing single player, but the skill ceiling for what you can do in that game is fantastic. But, like, I'm not used to being able to set up, like, longer slow moves while I'm doing something else to make sure it combos to set up for something else. Like, I'm used to just doing that naturally from, like, a multiplayer standpoint. If I see a player doing it, I'll do it. But to keep all that controlled at once, that's something I'll have to practice more if we play it again. I still haven't decided if I wanted to upload Sankoku Basara on YouTube. It's really fun, but I don't feel like my last session went, like, super well. It was kind of rough. I'm playing with, like, a basically fresh file, which is always rough. That's before you get a lot of the items that help you out. Or some of the better skills. I had some good points in the last gameplay, for sure. Like, I had a couple disrespectful parries where I just walk up, parry them. But, like, I had showed some proof that I had played the game before, but I don't feel like it was as convincing as it could be. That's why I'm thinking, you know, maybe one day we'll go back to 3, start at basic again, work our way back up. That'll be like my own Christmas present to myself. Just play Sankoku Basara for like a couple weeks. But we'll do like the English version for story. Even though, as I said before, I don't really play it for story. How am I feeling this many 50-50 megas? Skim, please. Thank you. I'm at level 30, so it is literally 50-50. Come on, there we go. Get spam time. There we go. We finally got the item of the run, Disco Brave Man. There's a lot of Geese and Ol Gibbons, which on White ID drop Disco Brave Man, so there's over 200 chances to get I think a 216 chance item. So the odds of getting it with drop rate increase mean that we should on average always get at least one, if not more, depending on what the weekly bonuses are. So it should not be too uncommon for us to get those, but we'll see. And then we'll wrap things up, I think, with Pink ID Underground. I might play Force into that, to be honest. Although, honestly, my other probably one of my favorite games of all time is still probably Kessen 2. Like, as much as I play Sankoku Basara, Kessen is my single-player game of choice. Man, I love that game. Man, I wish the later games in the series actually did what the Kessen 2 did. It was 10 out of 10 game for me. It would change nothing. Keep all the cheesy cutscenes and everything. I mean, how many other games are you gonna launch into space and fight God? Come on. Just mid-battle. Hold on, we need to have things in our favor. Just jump into space. That's just the warm-up to the battle, jumping into space and fighting God. For the Mandate of Destiny. Kessen 2. It's like the only real-time strategy game I will ever play on stream outside of maybe Sansa Salsahar. What an amazing game. I did not like their hard mode content as much. That one stage with like the near infinite bombs was driving me a little wild, I'm not gonna lie. That definitely was like the only down point in the entire game where the hard mode only stages were not fun. I like the increased difficulty on every other stage though. I appreciated that. Can I go back here? I can. Is there anything back here? No, just big old troll episode 2. Thanks, episode 2. Oh, I just got ambushed back here. Cute. Well, I guess free kill for me. Oh my gosh, I soloed a miracle. I did it, chat. I beat that thing solo at 143, no ATP. Hell yeah. Yeah, that game was like everything I'd ever want in an RTS. That's what's there. I wonder how to reach that. No, Kessen. Kessen. So good. It's by Koei. I don't know how easy it is to find on other things. Oh, there's a switch here. Nice try, Jungle Camera. I remembered you're here. You're a Phantasmal World. You can have some pretty nonsense things here. It is so good. We did a playthrough of it on stream a while back. And I love pretty much every quest in that, as I said before, except for the expert mode final stages. I really like the concept of, like, the generals being able to interact in the RTS sense. So it goes from, like, what would be RTS to you go down to the granular, I am the unit literally fighting the people. And I haven't really seen a game do that the same way at all. Nothing has been on the same level as that game. That game was one of a kind, for sure. Yeah, but, like, the thing is, like, you can then direct the generals to, like, aim massive fireballs. You could tell them to... You could literally take control of them and slap people to death by, like, raiding with them. So good. That mixture of, like, regular RTS, which is fine. It's not going to be the best in the genre, for sure, for that. But mixed with, like, that unique element of, like, trying to aim to maximize the damage of the fireball by looking at the individual units. So satisfying. The only thing I wish that they did a little differently, and they did technically fix that in Kessen 3, is... Oh, I'm so dead, aren't I? Oh, not. I didn't die. Now I'm dead. I tried to stun lock, but I was not close enough with me. Zon failed me. I just like the miracle for that. I hate their super armor. I hate that you can't hit them out of that attack. GG. But yeah, that mixture of, like, being able to recruit the different generals in a story mode, I think is really nice. I like that they have different strengths on, like, boats versus, like, grounded warfare. I just love that, like, morale manipulation is, like, a big thing in the game. I like that you can win, like, the allegedly unwinnable battles if you really know what you're doing. I like that there's a failsafe for people to beat the game in case they think it's too hard. So, I like most of those things. I think we only had a quote-unquote game over once, and that was due to time over, ironically. And not because we were struggling. We were just winning so hard I didn't know there was a time limit. I'll always remember that. I learned there were time limits the hard way. I was like, man, I killed like every enemy but one. Got ripped off. Yeah, that game is a lot of fun to learn. I would maybe play that again and try a speedrun of that game versus the story. But honestly, I do think cutscenes are like 40% of the game. Why to play that game? Like, the gameplay is phenomenal. The cutscenes are so dumb. Like, you could skip all the Diao Chan ones. Those are kind of boring. But the actual in-combat ones, like when you summon like the horde of locusts, or there's like the constant bickering between the people. I love those cutscenes. Or the ridiculous martial art forest scene that has like almost no context to it. It just kind of comes out of nowhere. Love it. If we're talking about like other kinds of action games, I guess I really like Gujian 3. That might be the best of like a dodge roll based system where it's not like overly complicated, but there's enough in it that I like it. And it's not like ultra punishing hard like something like a Dark Souls would be. I don't really enjoy that as like a game philosophy. And I think Gujian 3 might be my favorite of like the dodge roll mechanic games. Why can I not land a 55% chance to get him? What is happening? Game, please. Yeah, that one is like Giujian. It plays like, what is the phrase? Wuxia. It has a lot of inspiration from Chinese folklore and martial arts and everything else. A lot of the things that I've seen from shows like that, it feels like I'm actually playing in a game suited for that. Oh, I am the ambushed. You know, we're actually not getting bad XP, all things considered. Without the super bonus, it would be like 110 XP. Not bad. Given that we're 2 forces and just 1 person here. And we're gonna go to Seaside. So yeah, I'm thinking I might just make the stream sit through PW1 again. Voice acting was very good. Side quests were decent. I think some were definitely like... They weren't like pure fetch. There are a couple that are like that, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like the way it introduces you to the world, I have yet to see a game that is in about as strong as that in that same genre. There's the Disc of Brave Man, nice. I'm doing okay damage. I should probably use some monomates or something on this though. Not quite at max ATP. Previously it was really fun. It was Stronghold, specifically 2 and 3 were really fun for me. I'm not very familiar with PC games, so for me that's a big gap in my knowledge. What kind of game was it? Was it like almost like an Age of Empires thing? Was it more a sim base? Last one was my fault. Yes, every one of these geese potentially is a Disco Brave Man for clarity. There's a lot in this quest, which is good if you're playing Force. That's a lot to me good. But this is the quest I don't think that is like completely horrendous. Yeah, it took a little work. The explosion to the face, that's fine. Yeah, Guxian 3 is probably my favorite. I think that's in my top 5 Steam games, honestly. I haven't played anything that's quite as strong as that. It is some of the most beautiful visuals I've ever seen in the game. Easily prettiest game on Steam. There's other ones that are more arguable with that involve more 2D art. I've not seen one that's 3D. It has looked as good as that game is. So honestly, that really brings me into it. I just like the scale and scope of everything that you get into with that game. Age of Empires S. I think I remember, maybe I've seen little bits in gameplay of that. I remember there was like, they were like breaking, it might have been a Stronghold game where they're like, you're able to deploy a building where it's basically like a cow tied to a post as like one of the constructible pieces. But people were using that to block in AI because they don't know how to attack it or deal with it. Well, the soundtrack reset. Awkward. I remember them. Did it have like literally the king? King is a playable unit. So we cleared all this out, so where does it want us to go? I think this quest is fine from a Phantasmal World standpoint. I just don't remember the layout. I mean, there is a little gate over here, so probably through here. Thank you for dealing with the traps. Pop up our healths. Yeah, there's not enough of these to really warrant, I think, doing like a sealed J hunt. And in terms of just getting like Disco Brave Man, pretty good quest. Maybe... Yeah, there we go. Nice, nice. Oh no, you didn't press the button. I'm so sorry. GG. It's over. Rip. See, it's the only thing you have to remember for the future. If it's Endless Nightmare or Phantasmal World, you hunt that button down like your life depends on it, because that camera angle is terrible. There's one in, I think it's Phantasmal World 3, where you're in, like, CCA. And that garbage Worm Eye View camera, I'm like, what were they thinking? There's gimbals that takes up, like, your entire screen. You can only see his, like, leg. You can't see anything else when he gets deployed. It's, like, hilariously terrible. It's more tolerable. Oh, finally I got a Disco Rayman. Although, sadly, my screen's not big enough for me to see if that had a hit percentage. It did not. Top-down PSO would go so hard. That's called Diablo. Spoilers. It's called Free Can. That's also true, I guess. I'll have to take a look at Stronghold at some point. Ready to get into those games? They're very similar to PSO. Last Epoch. I don't know what that is. Is... assuming my demons hit at least a couple times there. Asserting dominance over the Riltas? Whatever. Let's open up these boxes. They're mostly just fluids, which is fine. I'd rather remove my foot than play that game again. Which a Diablo game? I think they're okay. I think they were kind of like the early entry into the series, and then because it was produced by a big company, that also just made it gain in popularity. Photon drop, nice. It's like fine for what it is. Just there's elements of it I don't enjoy. Some of it is like it's not a bad time to play. I wish, like, free mode of PSO was as strong as, like, free mode in the other games, for sure. Cool. Oh, it's a Diablo Pro. Oh, okay. Misunderstood. Gotcha, gotcha. You could please. I want you to know, chat, when I missed, like, the 55% Mega chance, but I one try the 20% on the robot, the game please. Statistically, just unfortunate. Game please. Game please. Thank you. Whatever game. Yeah, at least I know if it's, like, the gray monkeys. I know they're weak to me good. The red ones are the ones where I'm like, I don't mess with those. Team can do whatever they want with them. Unfortunately, there's not too many Zolgibbons. Those things are very annoying for persistent hit. Best I could really hope for is the demons. Maybe I might kill something with ATP in some century. Yeah, I think this quest was fine. It's not one like I'm gonna run a ton. And I think I mentioned before the first time we played this quest that it's like, it's fine. I'd rather play Phantasmal World 2, for sure. And for items, I think I'd rather play 4. But like, to play the quest to completion is okay. I'll do one every now and then. So it's on the list of things I would play in episode 2. Not necessarily love, but I would play. Oh, Crapper Store, nice. Actually huge. Say, where are these two enemies? They're chilling somewhere that I just don't see. stay in like the little kiddie pool area over here. Nope. Oh, they're like way down here. Okay, I wasn't too far off at least. That's a little bit of a silly spawn. I'm glad we got the trap restore though. That's actually huge. Like the final push of the room. Being able to shut down Gaikwees with that is kind of nice. Trying to think of the answer to the other question if there's other types of games. So I guess it would be something like Sengoku, or if it's slower paced, it could be more, or not slower paced. If it's more action oriented in like a item sense, I don't mind it being a roguelike. I don't know if there's too many others I would super consider. I mean, there's always the classic like tabletop games. I do play those every now and then. You know, I never got Risk of Rain to run competently on my computer, so I never bothered. And Risk of Rain 1 memory leaked so bad that I had to literally go into the file and delete my weapon achievements, because I literally couldn't play the game. They never fixed that to my knowledge, by the way, chat. I believe that memory leak is still in there, and it makes the game unplayable once you unlock the one item that, I think it, like, duplicates on kill or something. Except they forget to remove the bullets that are spawned by that until your game crashes. That would happen to me a lot when I was just, like, ultra power leveling in that game on, like, the final area. The game's throwing, like, nothing but bosses at me, but I'm like, no, it's okay, I'll still kill you. I just want more health for the real final boss. That way it feels more like a fair RPG versus like Dodge Mania. There's a warp here. All that was just to get a Sinnoh thing. I was curious where that would lead us out. But I think we're done. We beat both of them. I don't think there's anything else we have to do. Unless I don't remember something, because we had Jungle and Seaside were the two places we could go to. One end of it. Oh, okay, I missed the word back here. That's right. And then just make sure to talk to the one lady that's up on the other area up here. I think she's a reporter or something. Her name's like May. If you talk to her, you get little secret coins. Oh, I don't know if I would hard split up in these quests, to be honest. The first one, definitely. That quest is meant for it. I don't know if I think Phantasmal Worlds really is split up quest. Like, you can, but then you don't really get XP or anything, because you're in, like, different instances. Okay, we got our coins there, so we should be good. I guess we'll finish up RBR with the pink ID one. That'll be the final quest of the night. Sadly, just got kind of a junky Disco Brave Man. Thank you for the lurk, Promethean. Specific character I wanted to bring in for this. Away. His God Technique away. He could keep the Rappy. Heartlink is fine for him to keep. I'll bring in my pink ID Force, and we should be good. So this one should go a lot faster since forces are not really aimed for episode 2 clears. Switch to somebody that's more suited. That's where my pink ID for, I think. This will be probably final quest of the night. I don't think I want to do a TTF or RT after this, since it's pretty late. There we go. We'll bring in our 7-hour, 32-minute, level 135 force. That seems fair. Definitely did not just abuse cookies with them. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, if there were more people, I would consider a cookie quest to end it. Well, this character still has an event egg? Jeez, I've not played as them in a while. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and make the game. Oh, thank you for sticking around. Have to go by 9. Yeah, I still have an event egg on them. That's how backed up I was with materials. I'm gonna go get these, but anybody else that wants to join in, password is king. If you happen to be watching the stream, that's fine. I would prefer to get a Gaffoe merge on this character then. Away all the grinders. Give him the grants 28, that would be right. So we'll double addips. What technique? Oh, I just saw his health total. Never mind, I can't do it. It's gonna get a Gaffoe merge, and I'll leave the Gaffoe merge on him. That's fine. He's a character that I do often. Although I think the other character still has it. So I'll have to go liberate it from the other character at some point. Yeah, we have like we have the bare minimum to survive. Heavenly HP, V to 1 double addips. What level is his grants? Curiosity is at like 24. 26. That's not too bad. But definitely could be better. Okay, so let's I guess continue. So with the final one, we should be doing, I believe it's Sweep Up Operation 13. Find out in a moment. Yes. So this quest is meant for Marissa hunts and a little bit of Gertabulu. So there's a couple IDs that I think are good for it, but I think pink overall is probably preferred for this specific hunt. Because I think from that standpoint, you still get an okay amount of Slicer Fanatics. Getting zoos and whatever is kind of nice, but there's not many in the run. Oh, this character's on default? Oh, we gotta fix that immediately. I'm gonna hold still for a bit. Apologies. I'm like, there's only one thing the character needs access to, and that is like a spammable Gaffoe. There we go, life is good now. Basically, the Hucast is just gonna clear everything around us. Still taking pretty heavy damage, but that's fine. Okay, they're all cleared. Nice, nice. Make that mono flip, actually. I love that this character is almost max MST. How do you reorder that menu? By default, it's tab. You just take a spell that you want and just put it at the top. It is super useful for forces. I recommend, like, unless you're doing what I'm doing, you should probably put, like, really... Paralyzed, really? Stupid beamer. That you put something that requires fast casting at the top, so that'll be like your Gazan, for example, and even Rabarda should be pretty close to the top. Things like Gaffoe can go like 3rd or 4th in the list, but I feel like in some quests, you're going to be spamming it so often that I would argue it's probably still better to put it near the top. you want to make sure you have access to Rafoi, Gafoi, Rabarda, Gizan, maybe, situationally. So you can either put them at the top of the menu or hit up and then end up at the bottom of the menu. So you want to put like your two fast cast ones like Rafoi and Gizan pretty close to each other. That way you can prep for it. Oh, just another zoo. Because it makes a huge difference in how many Gafois you can have out at once. If you're wondering how I was outputting so much DPS in the earlier run, it is literally because I'm doing frame perfect Gafoi with that input. Of course, I think it's helpful to have debuffs in there. I like having it on like the number pad, where I'm not looking to get a frame perfect cast with debuffs. But something I'm going to be casting over and over, I want to make sure I have access to it in the most convenient manner possible. Technically, I would put Foey kind of high up there. If I do a lot of TTF, I'll move Foey up there, because being able to spam Foey faster sometimes makes a difference. It makes a difference in single player more than multiplayer. Oh no. Oh, Remotebattery. Are you actually frozen that long? Oh no, we have to have a talk. I'm like, I couldn't tell if it was desync. On my screen, you were just getting straight bullied while frozen. I hope you're wiggling out of that with the movement stick. Because I didn't even see you fire on my screen. I mean, could it be a desync thing? But as a reminder for newer players in general, make sure to wiggle out of freeze. It saves lives. And we're gonna go for stun locks here and slow down the room, generally speaking. There we go. Yeah, this quest is okay for XP. Again, this is another quest I would not normally do outside of an RBR. It's like, okay. Like, the quests that you'll end up doing outside of RBR are generally so strong that if all you're looking for is PDs, you probably still won't play this quest. But if you're really desperate for that Gerda-Gulu hunt, this quest is okay. If you're looking for Heaven Striker, there's a lot better quests you can reset on, comparatively. As opposed to like a full clear. And even honestly, just a regular boss rush quest is really solid. Oh, I'm so hosed. Well, let's get out of there. Would you freeze me? Get out of here. Oh no. There we go. Well, I'm surviving underground. That's all that matters. Here we're gonna be spamming Rafoi, because it... Worse, I was out of range hit to do with Rafoi. That sucks. Well, so much for stun locking. I wonder if this is the quest I sometimes confuse with the other, underground quests. We're gonna stun lock them as best as we can with Rafoi while also damaging the Marissas. It's just kind of a win-win for us. Deal with threatening enemies into a Zalor, maybe. Gotta look out for the bees, though. Those dumb bees actually paralyze. Another example of why this place is not run as often, because that is actually a pretty annoying status ailment. There we go. Nice and simple. At the rate I'm taking damage, I might actually get Mag Blast to give the Remotebattery. It is a genuine thing that could happen. I just need to get hit a couple more times. There's a warp over there. There's ore here. One of the mono flute earlier. on the encounter. Yeah, we're here to basically provide like alternate free support, buffs, maybe some debuffs depending on the enemy. And if we could Zalore, that'd be great, because that just speeds it up for Remotebattery significantly. Although even these rapid Refoes, I should be using the menu. It's just a shame my menu is so messed up right now that it's just not worth using. Refoe I'd like to keep within 2 inputs. This Refoe casting is actually pretty quick, as is Ravarda. So if it's like 8 in a menu, I'm never gonna do it in time. Or like the amount of input speed I'd need for it would just be too insane. I would just cause more errors than I would. Not be worth it. Versus the other methods. So, I mean, with the XP bonus, we're getting 180, so we'd still be getting around 110-ish. You have to think, we're getting 170% bonus. That's like, you have to go from 100 upwards. But then again, we're only 2 people, so to get that kind of XP rate with 2 people is pretty solid. Like, it would obviously go way faster with another force, or even 2 forces, or if there was like a triple Hue cast. I think both of those would be pretty fast. We don't really need like demons or anything else. So many Marissas. Love that I'm using this Refoe to clip the other enemies though. We'll chip out the other Pyrogoron, help the combo kill happen. Is the thing too with like the way episode 4 plays is that if you manage to get very close, the teleporters are not really a big issue. I've been Star Atomizer. Because they only teleport if you really use guns, and for the most part they don't usually react to techniques, depending on what I'm doing with them. So I can get a lot of cheesy hits before they decide that it's best to teleport. I took that blow to the face like a champion. Okay, we're gonna Zalore to speed things up here a little bit, help the combo kill. I almost have Mag Blast, which is what I'm looking to get. So if I get hit by Rappy here, I might actually get it. Hit me? Yeah, oh, 99, come on. Chat, I'm being cheated. Hit me. Yeah, there we go. Now on the upcoming rooms, I can afford to Mag Blast to give Remotebattery that 41 shifted deban. Which is significant. That does enable new combo kills. There we go. So why don't we get a little closer to the next area and I'll do the twins. I'm assuming my synchro / int is fine. Yeah, it's fine. Oh. No, too far. I'm gonna say using twins. There we go. Yeah, when you're just 2-player, you take any advantage you can get. I prefer not to get murdered by Goron Detonator. Hoping this D-Ban will put me in a good place. Perfect. You can see we're just kind of chipping everything out. There's really nothing they could do to the force when they're weak to fire. Do a couple of Gafoe stacks, but this might be the final wave in the room, you know? This room isn't like... These rooms haven't been like super Gafoe stack friendly. There's a few where I could maybe get off like 1 Gafoe stack. Like compared to a Christmas Fiasco or something that has like 5 million spawns in one room, it's just kind of okay. That's a little more rough of a quest compared to the other nonsense of episode 4. I think it's fine. It's not like... I don't hate the quests, I just don't think I would run it for the most part, unless I'm looking specifically for like Ophiel C's from Marissa AA's during Rare Enemy Week, or I'm looking for limiter from the Gertabulu, because there are 6 in this quest, from what I recall. That's just all offhand knowledge. I used to do these runs when I first played the game. I just haven't really had a reason to do them over other runs. Now that they're in the RBR, I think it'd be a good chance to try it out a little more. You know, flying body sim sucks. Let's do this. Make life easier. That skipped off for sure. Yeah, I don't think there's ways to really shortcut time, per se, like some of the other quests do, where we have to go through the maze. But I could be wrong. Maybe there's like one spot we can teleport. We'll try to keep an eye out for it. That was such unlucky Rafoi timing. I thought when I did the first one, it hit it. Then he hit me after the second one went off, which sucks. That delay is all it needed. All this just to get to the warp, huh? Why, hello there. What a rude spawn. How did... Yahweh, please. So disappointed. How did he out-hit my Rafoi there? So sad. Paralysis stuff. There we go. I finally got like a proper Gafoi stat going. The difference. So now it's starting to squeeze up closer to 120 XP a second, which I think is fine. Whenever a quest has like good XP like that, it's like, I'll play the quest. This might be the one I was confusing it with before, because I remember it was like, I felt like there was the one where we went through the maze, and then it's like double Gertabulu, like Goron Detonator Zeus. This might be the quest I was thinking of originally. Because to be fair, it really does look like that other episode 4 quest. You even go through the maze. Or your chalk. Might be this one. Where it has like the most horrible final room of all time. Find out though. Put down a little Gafoi there to stop them from hitting. See, here I would have loved to have had Rafoi set up. I might get one chance here to set it up without losing time. Level up. So I want to make sure Robarda is up here. That'll be good enough for now. Yeah, like I have enough time to menu that pretty. Being able to do this is insane. Like the sheer DPS you can output with that is gross. Similarly, I want Gazond in a way that I can reach it. So typically, unless I'm doing a lot of episode 4, usually Gazond is in my first slot and Rafoi's on the slot below it, and then I might have Robarda, Razond at the top after that. Then from there, it matters a bit less. I could put Gafoi at the bottom if I want to. I haven't found a system that I really like, other than like, I know if all I'm doing is doing very basic Gafoi spam, I want it at the top. So I just have it based off the quest. I don't have like a personal preference with it yet. Let's go ahead and debuff. Build the team a little. I think one thing that helps is I think if you bind more than one movement to your controls, like let's say you're doing left stick, I don't know if that's allowed or not allowed. That one I'm not as sure about, but technically if you were to put like WASD, for example, on your control stick, and you wiggle out, because it counts as 2 different forms of movement, it does get you out faster. Or if you're stuck and you're just playing keyboard and controller, you could just roll your hand on the other set of keys too. That one was always ambiguous. I was never sure if that was banned. Well, I don't use it as much. But I do feel like it's way easier to get out with controller compared to everything else, regardless. Because you could get out, like, nearly instantly. Like, if you see me get frozen, I'm in for, like, 0.2 seconds, maybe 0.4. So I'm usually preemptively wiggling. I'm not too worried about them. Me and Gerda Bulu are on a stun lock war. Gonna get me, sadly. I mean, I'm having a good time versus Gerda Bulu here. I was doing pretty well, although I want to debuff. There we go, GG. Buffs on us. Oh. Quite off the timer. Got baited by the fade. Well, in 17 seconds, I can apply buffs. See the red warp of near the exit. Let's go ahead and apply some buffs. We should be almost done. I can see the exit. We might have like 2 or 3 more waves left. Can't be that much more. We're in the center and there's nothing else to do. We went to the corners already. I guess we'll see how merciless the final area is comparatively. Here we go. Yeah, that's what it was. It was this quest. This final room in solo play is disgusting. This is the quest I thought it was. I knew there was a quest that involved a maze that had like this awful Goron Detonator Zoo. This is the quest I was thinking of. I think this is how I got my first limiter, like ever. But this quest is so painful in solo. It's so easy to die with the Goron Detonator Zoo combo, mixed with everything else too. Unfortunately for the Goron Detonator, he's in my range, but I'm not in his. You can see if he just cheesed out his health total. There's basically nothing he can do about that. Yeah, I think the quest is fine. I guess if technically people really want to do limiter runs, which for me I'm mostly over, I'd probably recommend this quest. I don't know if it'll be my #1. I definitely prefer Christmas Fiasco for sure. By just playing like Viridian ID all the way through with limiters. Or potentially MAEs, or potentially cookie quests. It's like, it's on the list, I'll put it that way. Ease away. So many defense materials. There we go, we covered all the RBRs. This one I think I would more realistically run with the group. Just because I do like episode 4. I think for the most part the quest is completable with Hunter, which is not necessarily true of every quest that exists. I think Ranger is still pretty solid here. There's not a lot of force stacking, so I don't think like this quest is as strong as some of the other ones if you went oops all forces. There are a lot of like mixed damage types in this quest, so it could be kind of awkward. But I would not mind potentially redoing this with like multiple casts, or like having like super high-end ATP only. It is a lot of walking, but at the same time, there's still a decent amount of kills throughout. Would I do this out of RBR? Probably still not. It's really hard to compete with Massive Attack, 4B, 4C, the Boss Rush quest, Odd. But you know, at least this one is decent. I think I also like, what is it, New Mop-Up Operation 3, I think it is? That has like the million enemies in the heat rooms. So like, I would rather do those because those have things like Heaven Strikers, or they have things like your Yashminikovs, for example. But it's nice to have variety, because I think what people also kind of miss out on is sometimes you just don't feel like doing TTFRT over and over and over again. So it's nice to be able to say we have alternatives in different areas. So I guess I'll make a note here. I think I have my notes somewhere for PSO. Yeah, this is GG. So I guess of the ones that are here that I would play again, I'm not a big fan of Scarlet Realm in general, but I don't play with a lot of people that know it that well. Phantasmal World is fine. I still prefer 2, 3, and a little bit of 4 over 1, but it's still good, I guess. And sweep up Operation 13 specifically. Yeah, I have to double check if 13 resets or 14 resets are better. I'm sure somebody timed it out for Heaven Striker. So technically, if you just want to do a lot of Heaven Striker resets, just doing the beginning of those quests for the Pyrogorons is pretty strong. So that's something I have to double check. I'm sure there's people that have figured it out. For me, I've never calculated. I think both of those are good, if I remember correctly. By just looking at where the first waves are at Pyrogorons. But anyway, that's all for now. So we're done with PSO, we're done with the RBR. So let's go ahead and say goodbye to YouTube first. If you did watch to this point in the video or the VOD, I'd like to say thank you again for watching, and hopefully see you again in the next video.